everybody, it's MakeupMenaree. Welcome back to my channel. I was gonna do a eyeshadow tutorial, but my eyelids are acting hella sketchy, so we're not doing that tonight. Go ahead and show you guys my sweat-proof, swim-proof, summer heat-proof foundation sort of tutorial. This is what I do when I know I'm gonna be outside sweating my ass off because, you know, I'm in Texas and it's hot as hell during the summertime. These are all the tricks that I pull out so that I don't melt off my makeup while I'm outside. So if you guys want to see how I keep my makeup from just sliding off my face in this heat, then make sure to stay watching. The first thing that I always do, of course, is I make sure to wash my face really well. I use a toner followed by a moisturizer that has SPF in it because, you know, I burn and I cannot be outside looking like that. If you guys want to see what I use on my skin to prep it before I start applying my makeup, I'll go ahead and link up my skincare video here. It's just all the same things that I use most of the time for my skin. I've already done all that. So the first thing that I like to do is get a primer. There are a lot of different primers, but the primers that I feel like you want to stay clear of are primers that say glowy or illuminating or, you know, glistening. Anything like that is a no-no when you're trying to stay from sweating the hell out of your makeup out in sun. Those are primers to make you look glistening and stuff already, and I'm telling you, by hour one, I'm already glistening enough and I don't need none of that shit on my face. You want to stay with primers that say matte, mattifying, you know, oil busting, whatever the hell they say on there, that is the complete opposite of glistening and shiny. So there's a couple different primers that I always bust out when it gets hella hot outside that just keep my makeup in place and keep me from looking like I damn stuck my face in the oil vat. And the one is Clinique, and let me see. I had a whole bunch of these little testers, and I really like this. This really helps my makeup stay in place. Of course, the Professional by Benefit is another amazing primer that helps to keep makeup, you know, from sliding off. And then I like to use the MAC Prep and Prime. On this, I just like to use this on my nose and sort of maybe in the middle of my forehead because this really helps to keep everything in place as well. And with the Professional, now I don't put this on my entire face. I just put these in areas that I know tend to act up a little extra in the sun and the heat, and that is my T-zone area, basically my forehead, my nose, and then my cheeks, and then of course my chin. Go ahead and just put a little bit of that on. A little goes a long way with this, so you don't have to put a whole bunch on. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub that in those areas. Okay, so while that's sort of setting into my skin, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next line of defense before I put any makeup on, because there's another line of defense. What I like to go and do before I put my foundation or anything else on is go in with the setting spray. Now, I found that the Urban Decay Up All Nighter setting spray, this does not work for that. I mean, that setting spray is really good after you put on your makeup, but for putting it on before you put on your makeup, it is not the greatest. It balls up, it gets sort of gross, so I've learned my lesson with that. But one that works really well and has always worked really well is the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I love this stuff. I feel like this is the best setting spray that I have found that is, you know, affordable, and I use this stuff all the time. It keeps you nice and matte, keeps your makeup in place. And then lately I've been using this new Remmel's Stay and Fix, or Fix and Go, Remmel's Fix and Go. And this is a newer one. I've only been using this for a couple days, but I figured, you know, why won't we test it out today? Because I have not put it on my face before I put my makeup on. It's always just been after. It does have a weird smell, so if you're not really into smells, then this might not be the spray for you. It sort of smells like cucumber, and cucumber is in the blend. The NYX doesn't really have a spray or smell at all. Any smell that it does have is instantly gone. But I think today we're going to go ahead and use this. The next thing that I do before I put my makeup on, now that that primer is set, is I go ahead and spray the shit out of my face with my setting spray.
"2,000 years later."
Woo. Shit. Just go ahead and fan that. Now this Rimmel is a quick drying one, so that's good that it dries pretty quickly. So now that I have the setting spray on and I have the primer on, now I'm actually ready for foundation. In the summer times, I like to stay away from anything again that says shimmery or glowy or anything like that. I stay away from all that. For the most part, I stay away from all that anyway because I'm already oily as it is, but definitely during the summertime and when I'm outside because it is too hot for all that, and that shit does not last. So some of my favorite foundations for the summertime are Fenty. Now, can you see it? Good old Fenty. In the summertime, when I need something like dry as hell, this works really well. Something that I really love for the summertime is the Maybelline 24 Hour. And again, same situation. It stays really matte on my skin. It doesn't move around or wipe off, and I really like this because it just stays in place. Another one that I really like for the summertime is the MAC Pro Longwear. This is the waterproof formula. This is amazing. I wore this stuff for my wedding. We were on the beach. It was warm out. This stuff is been tested. I love it. This is probably one of my favorite foundations during the summertime. Again, stays in place, looks gorgeous, and it does not move. Okay, so for today, I'm going to go ahead in with my Maybelline 24 Hour, and I'm just going to use a sponge. You can use a sponge or a brush. I feel like the sponge gives it just enough moisture on my skin to get it on there without looking hella cakey and just, you know, dry as hell. Go ahead and go in with a very thin layer across my entire face. Of course, you're going to be outside sweating. You don't want tons of layers of foundation on. So you're going to keep it as thin as you can. Okay, so now I got one layer on all of my face, and don't be scared. It goes on a little light, but this foundation does oxidize just a little bit, so it does blend into my skin, and in about 30 minutes, it'll be a lot darker, and it looks perfect. So next, I'm gonna go in with the sponge again, and just sort of spot conceal the areas that need to be covered, so that way I'm not putting a whole another layer on my face. I'm just covering the areas that need to be covered. I did not really put any on my eyebrows. I sort of want to leave those blank because I'm going to put product on my eyebrows and I don't want those to sweat off, and I don't want an extra layer of product on those. So after I got that foundation on, I also did not put it on my eyelids because we're going to do something with my brows and my eyelids before we put on any product there. Next, I'm going to go in for my eyelids and my brows. I am going in with the NYX the HD primer. This is an eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to put this on my eyelids, and I'm also going to drag some up into my eyebrows just so that when I put my brow product on, it's not going to go anywhere. And a little goes a long way with this, so don't put too much on because you don't really need a whole lot. If you're having issues with your nose, like your makeup sweating off your nose and your cheeks and stuff as well, you can also use the NYX eyelid primer, the HD, on your nose, on your cheeks. I've used this before and it works amazing as well for a primer. So, you know, if you're in a pinch and you don't have a whole bunch of primers, then, you know, you can use this as a primer on your face as well. Now you're safe to go in if you wanted to go ahead and just put some foundation on your eyelids or, you know, your eyeshadow. So I'm just going to go back in with the Beauty Blender, and whatever's left over from what I just put on my face, I'm just going to sort of dab on my eyelids. Again, I'm not putting it on my eyebrows. I'm going to go ahead and set my eyebrows and my eyelids with any powder. Thing here, but I don't have any in a big bottle, is the RCMA. I will pop up a picture so you guys can see what that looks like. I'm going to use that one today. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and set my eyebrows and my eyelids with that RCMA powder. So once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and just put on some concealer above my eyebrows and sort of in the middle of my nose, on my bridge. I like to use super lightweight concealers when it is hot outside. So I always love the Age Rewind by Maybelline. It's super lightweight, but it gives good coverage and it doesn't move around too much either when it's hot. Just a tiny, tiny bit there. And I'll put a little bit on my chin. Go back in and just set that real quick with the same RCMA powder, and then we're going to move on to the brows. Okay, when it's super hot outside, I always go back to the same brow product, and that is where the hell is she? Okay, that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I have tested this stuff in summer heat while playing softball. It was 103 degrees outside. Now, I did it for one season, never again. That was hell on earth. This is literally the only thing that stayed on my face during games. Like, everything else was gone, but my eyebrows are still there. So this shit stays in place. It does not move. I always break her out in the summertime and make sure that I have that on, especially when I'm gonna be outside. And do my brows off camera. I have plenty of tutorials on my brows. I will link that up here so you guys can check those out, but I'll be right back. So I went ahead and put my brows on. So with that primer and the pomade, those bitches do not go anywhere. They stay in place no matter how hot it is, sweaty, or wet you are. They stay in place. And put on the rest of my face, and then we'll finish off this summer-proof, sweat-proof, waterproof, swim-proof, whatever proof you want to put it through video. So I make sure to use a lot of matte products that don't have a lot of shimmer in them, besides my highlight where I just put there. I know that if anything's shimmery, I'm going to be sweating and glistening as it is, and anything that is already shimmery is just going to make my face look like a huge mess. So I make sure to stay away from any shimmery products. So everything that I put, like my contour and my blush, is matte. It doesn't have any shimmer in it. Next, I would just go ahead and put my eyeliner on. The trick that I do in regards to keeping my eyeliner from smearing, if you guys want to check that out, make sure to click here. Watch that video. It's a trick that I use all the time. Keeps your eyeliner from, smudging off, from rubbing on your eyelids. An amazing trick. So like I said, if you guys want to see how I do that, then make sure to check that video there. Next, I would just go ahead and put my eyeliner on, my eyelashes. Of course, with mascara, you want to try to use a waterproof mascara. I found that a lot of the fiber mascaras are sort of waterproof. They don't really go anywhere. They don't smear. So those are really good to use. So the last thing that I do is I just go back in with the setting spray that I started off with and just give my skin another good mist, just to lock everything in place. And let me do that now. All right, so once that's dry, that is it. I'm telling you, this will keep your makeup in place. Okay, just because I wanted to get a good thumbnail, but I just sprayed my face with water. So we're gonna sit here for a second and let it dry, and I'll let you know, you see nothing is moving. Let me see. My eyebrows are still in place, like legit. Everything is still in the same place. So as long as your face dries and you don't smear anything, it stays put. Oh shit, I got this. It's copyright strike, shoot. You see it's all dripping down my neck. You already can see my face is drying and nothing has moved. Bam, it's almost dry. And look at that. Still looks good. What'd I tell y'all? If you guys have any other tips on how you guys make your makeup stay on, or sweat proof, this or that, then make sure to comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next time.